Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is one of the latest releases from Hasbro. It's part of the first wave of their G.I. Joe Classified series, a reimagining and, kind of a redone version of the classic G.I. Joe property. 6-inch figures, whole new line, recently released. They're pretty cool. I mean, nice nostalgia for kids who grew up in the 80s like myself. So you see a much bigger figure, a little bit different than the old 3 3/4 figures. So we're going to go open up, show off, and do our little thing going over the figure. Of course, the first thing about Destro, one of the classic figures that I absolutely had, is the art. Some amazing art on the side. It's really cool, evoking the classic G.I. Joe artwork that always kind of stood out. Pretty much for everyone. I mean, there's just people who love the G.I. Joe artwork, as they should, because it's good. Alright, so Destro was definitely a figure that I had, and when I initially looked at the figure during kind of my first look over, the figure reminds me a lot of the classic Destro figure. It definitely picks up the style of them. Not tons of stuff that's different, and it's got the collar, the suit looks really classic. Just a lot more detail is kind of the difference of it. First up, I like to always do my stand test. Stands, no problem. Let's go over the various joints. Most of these figures seem to be pretty consistent. We've got foot side to side, up and down, lower shin, or the shin in general, twist side to side. Knees have a double bend. They got a double joint. Hip is what we expect. Even the one with the gun holster is bending pretty well. Let's see if this has got the weird back bend. It has a weird back bend that Snake Eyes has, which is kind of a negative. I think it's a little strange. Bend up front, and arms is pretty exactly what we would expect. Pivot at the top, double elbow joint. Wrist is the movement we'd expect. There we go. There's the actual up, down, all that. And then finally the head, side to side, up and down. Not as much up and down as some of the other figures, but there's a little bit of there. So as far as joints, this is exactly what we expect. It's pretty much been standard for all the figures so far. Let's go over details. Much like the other figures, the detail's it's good. It doesn't necessarily blow me away, but it's good for 1999 figures. Boots, it's not just gray. There's some silver on it. There's some good detail in the front of like armor and the shin. Of course, we got the armor knee pads. That seems to be a lot of the figures have that. We got the gun holster, which has a little bit of loose, which is not a bad thing. Allows the leg to move. Kind of a cool design down from the hip and around. Plus the detail on it is good. We see straps. They're nice straps all around. It's nice and raised. This isn't flat. There's straps on the inside, so it does look like there's some thought as to how the holster would go on in real life, which is pretty good. The armor is fine, like the first suit. We've got his missiles or whatever. Yeah, these are missiles. On the right, of course, the kind of iconic snake collar thing going on. The thing that really stands out to me that's not something I noticed when I initially opened it up is the necklace. There is a loose necklace on the figure that I think works really, really well. Obviously you're not going to take it off, but it's it's like a real necklace. It's going to bounce around a bit. The figures all have peg holes in the back, allowing you to put some accessories, and of course the peg holes on the feet as well, just like the classic figures. So detail on this is pretty good. I think it evokes the classic figure pretty well. Alright, let's go with accessories. First we're going to go with the gun, which does remind me of kind of the old school gun that he had. A little bit more, obviously more details. Of course we've got the scope. There's a little bit of coloring to it, some depth to it, not just flat plastic. So the gun is decent as far as style and what it brings, at least this gun. In the hand is pretty easily. This is maybe one of the easier guns we've put in someone's hands. I think that seems to be kind of the common theme we're getting with a lot of the other figures that we've opened so far is that it's kind of a pain in the butt to put stuff in the hands. It's like the one negative of the line is it could have dealt with extra hands to make some of the accessories easier to put in. The gun, we got another gun of golden variety. Fits in the holster perfectly, not an issue at all, easily goes in. And then, of course, let's put that in the other hand. See how easy that one is. Again, that one was pretty simple. But now here's going to be the big test is the briefcase, the suitcase, or briefcase. I vaguely remember the original having a briefcase like this. Does this open? I hope this opens. I remember this the original one opening. There we go. It does open, but these actually don't come off. So we get some good detail on it. You get a computer within it. Of course, the Cobra symbol and a screen. The screen's kind of eh. Looks like he's playing Battleship on the screen. What do I remember? I remember the old one had like a gun in it, right? Like that was the old school version of it. This screen though looks actually pretty decent with a little bit of like coloring to it, and the keyboard has nice design to it as well. So not bad. Like this is actually a pretty decent accessory. Let's do the big test of how easy it is to get in the hands, because this is the type of accessory that seems to be a pain in the butt for all the other figures, and this is going to be there we go. This is actually not going to be an exception to that. It is a pain in the butt as well. But it's in, a little bit easier than some of the other stuff. And let's do a test to see how easy it is to stand with the briefcase. Alright, so briefcase going up, not easy, or not easy. To the side is a little bit easier. Overall, like, not bad. This is a pretty good figure. I think it evokes a lot of the classic line and the original one that came out, which is always a favorite of mine since I had it. But overall, like, not bad. It's got some good detail to it. The accessories are decent. Nice villain to add to the collection. Overall, like, it's a good figure. This is just a solid effort, like, and scaling it, I'd probably say, like, this is like a solid B, which is not bad at all. Again, it seems to be the big thing with the figures is the hands. I wish there was maybe extra hands or something like that. And that's about it. This, if you are a G.I. Joe fan, if you're a Destro fan, you're probably going to dig this figure. I think it does really, really well to kind of evoke the classic figure and modernize it a bit for the larger scale. And I like the throwback with the case. That's actually pretty cool. So we're going to keep on opening up. We've got 2 more figures to go. We got Duke and Scarlet. We're going to take all these in a row. So stick around. We'll do those down the line. As always, if you are into the latest G.I. Joe news, comics, toys, check us out every single day at graphicpolicy.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, all at Graphic Policy. I want to thank Hasbro for hooking us up with this review copy. Ooh, pivot at the waist. I totally forgot that one. I want to thank Hasbro for hooking us up with this review figure. Much, much appreciated. And as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, keep playing with your toys and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.